mercy. No, I would. I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm
Now,
not.
listen, if you're going to talk that way, you're going to leave. So when you got this letter from the 11-year-old, you were how old?
21.
Okay, so that's been 15 years ago.
Yes.
Okay, so you're 21 and you get a letter from someone that says, by the way, I'm your sister, we have the same father, which means the man that you've thought was your father all of your life is not, and you just drop it?
No, I questioned her over and over that day, and she just kept saying, no, she knew who my father was. When she snatched the letter, because I did say that I wanted to write this little girl back, she snatched the letter, and I remember asking her about it very rarely because I wanted the address and I couldn't find it, but she would just change the subject.
Somebody says that they're your sister, which means you've got a different father.
Oh, I know. I did not let that go. I searched for her on the internet. I searched Sarah. I searched Wayne. I tried numerous times and I never told anyone because, I mean, no one knew except for me.
Well, here's an excerpt from the letter that you got from Sarah. It says, hey, you don't know me, but I wish you did. I'm your half-sister. My name is Sarah Beth. You are probably freaked out, but your father is my daddy, Wayne. I'm 11 years old and wish to see you. I have always wondered about my daddy's life he never told me about. You probably have never met him, or at least not to my knowledge. If you wonder why I'm just now writing to you, it's because just tonight I found a picture of you. Well, Sherry Dawn, I just want to hear from you. I don't know you, but I love you. Betty, nice to meet you, but even though I've only seen pictures.
That was a picture that my mother apparently sent to him, and I did not even know he had that until about 2 years ago.
Okay. So he got it from somebody. I mean,
my mother.
That is you.
Yes, that is me.
So fast forward 15 years, you find this letter tucked in your mother's Bible.
Yes.
And you reread it. How do you feel when you reread it second time?
Almost sad, because I knew that Sarah was an adult by now, and she probably thought that I was a horrible person when I really thought about her for years and years, and I wanted so badly to get in touch with her. I thought she was going to hate me.
So she writes you, and it's just crickets for 15 years. She doesn't hear a thing from you.
Never heard anything.
So she just figures either you didn't get it or didn't care or didn't want to meet her.
That's what I assumed.
Okay. And now you have the letter in your hand. What do you do?
I actually immediately called my sister Dana, because we had recently talked about this and said, you would not believe that I found this letter and where it was at.
Okay, and when you talk to her, you two start comparing notes, and you say some things start to make sense about the way you've been treated, which you say is different than your other siblings. You have 4 older siblings.
Yes.
How?
I was always criticized. Well, growing up, she never told me I was pretty. Like, I mean, I think most mothers do for their daughters. She never, ever told me I was pretty. Rarely got hugged.
And you said she allowed you to date a 26-year-old convict when you were 13?
I was 16 then, but that doesn't make a difference.
Not much. So how did that happen?
I think she would have never allowed any of my siblings to do stuff like that. And she didn't care. They would live with me. I mean, I just don't think that that's a very loving mother. I would never allow my daughter to do that.
What do you mean they would live with you?
Several of them lived with me and moved in the house. That's not a loving mother.
Yeah. And you think this is because she saw you differently? She knew you weren't like the other children?
I just don't think that she loved me the same. I don't think that she really looked at me like her daughter, because she got pregnant by the wrong person.
And you say she cut you out of the will?
Well, not necessarily cut me out. I was never there. Didn't know this. I was never there to begin with. Just my other three.
Double standard all the way around?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you confronted her with this finally, what did she say about it?
She completely denies that she even knew, but yes, she wrote letters to him.
Okay. Well, coming up, Betty is here, and she says this isn't just as cut and dried as it seems here. So we'll hear what Betty has to say when we meet her next. And later, we will hear from Sherry's alleged father, Wayne, and find out what he wants Sherry to know about their relationship.
When I think about my mother and I, we've never gotten along. I feel like she hates me. She is emotionally abusive and always has been. She has always been critical of me. I was either too fat or too skinny. My mother is cruel. My mom lied to me about who my father really was. I've walked around most of my life thinking my dad was actually my dad, and he wasn't my dad at all. The best way to describe my mom is pure evil.
Well, Sherry says she was shocked to receive a letter in the mail 16 years ago from a little girl claiming that they shared the same father, a man named Wayne. When Sherry confronted her mother with the allegation, she snatched the letter and hid it in her Bible until Sherry finally found it just 2 years ago. Now, Betty claims she isn't really sure who this Wayne person is, and that it shouldn't matter anyway because her daughter Sherry had a perfectly good life.
I feel like Sherry is just making a big deal out of things so she can get what she wants in life. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I'm not perfect either. I remember meeting her father once or twice.
What was his name?
Why do y'all want people's names? I'm not putting people's names out there. Their relationship is between them, not me. I don't feel comfortable using Sherry's father's name. I didn't really know him. I had met him out dancing and all. I might have seen him 3 times. I didn't know where he lived. I didn't know anything about him. I do not remember sending him a picture when she was a kid. I had to have done it. You know, I don't write letters. I don't do things like that.
My mom claims that she does not know who my biological dad Wayne is, but she carried a letter that was sent by his younger daughter to me inside her Bible for all these years.
I wrote 1 letter in my life. As far as writing him letters, I wasn't in contact with him.
My mother is a big fat liar.
I never had a doubt in my mind who her daddy was. I always thought Sherry and Dana had the same father, the guy that I dated for 40 years. It does bother me that she went and had a DNA test done. I thought it was going to come back okay and all. If she got angry, I don't really know. I don't remember that part of it, but if she did, you know, that she had the right to be angry, I guess. My best advice for Sherry, don't just dwell on the past, live for the future.
Okay, so just from what we've been told thus far and what we just saw in that video segment, her mom sounds diabolical. I mean, she's defensive. She's denying everything. She says just get over it. She claims she doesn't know who this man is. And I think we're going to see evidence of the opposite. And apparently she has treated Sherry differently than her other sisters for her entire life. She also seemed to have a lot of disdain for Sherry in that video segment. Like, she's really irritated. How dare you want to know who your real father is? How dare you? Yeah, already, I am not a fan of this woman.
Well, Betty, we've been talking a bit, and I'm glad that you're joining us now, because I try to bring about peace and harmony in families, not discourse and fragmentation. So I'm hoping that we can find some way to do that here. Now, you have not actively deceived your daughter all of these years, correct?
Correct.
That's your position here. It's not that you've known something and actively, purposely hid it from
That's
her
a
all
lie.
of these years.
That's right. That's right. No, it's
You
not.
talk to him every year.
No, it's not.
Okay, and so you're saying that when the paternity test came back, you were as surprised as anybody to find out that she did not have the same father as Dana, for example, your other daughter.
That's right.
We look alike.
I thought you looked like...
Me and Wayne look alike.
Well, I didn't know him that good. I had met him in a club. I did not know him that good. I had only been out with him maybe 3 times. And you knew that, or you didn't know that.
Alike, and if you didn't see it, that's just crazy.
Well, I didn't really know him. I had met him out, and I didn't think he was, you know, I thought you looked like Dana when she was a baby. And the pictures I have
Maybe
of
it's a
Dana.
baby, because we look nothing alike now. Nothing.
What you're saying is that no time until you saw this sibling DNA test did you have an inkling that that Wayne was her father.
I didn't think he was.
Do you remember getting the letter from the 11-year-old Sarah?
Sherry got a letter. It was sent to her. Sherry read the letter and put it down or whatever, you know.
I didn't know. I never put it down.
Well, I don't know what you did.
You hid it from me.
No, I did not hide it
You
from
hid it from me because you put it in your Bible.
You didn't read the letter? Somebody sends your daughter a letter and says that they have a different father, and you didn't read the letter?
I might have read it. I don't remember, you know, as far as really reading it. I don't know.
Well, I get a lot of mail, but I think I'd remember that one.
Well, no, I did not read, you know, Sherry was one. I did not go through their mail. I did not mess with her stuff.
Just mine. She treated me differently, see?
Well, I'm not asking about going
Sherry.
through her mail.
No.
I'm just saying she showed you this letter, right?
I don't really remember. She may have showed it to me.
How did it get in your Bible?
I don't remember it being in my Bible.
Oh,
I really
I didn't
don't.
put it there.
I don't believe it was in the Bible.
It was in the Bible because you put it in the one place I would never look.
No, I did not, Sherry.
That's not a bad person.
No, I It was not put in a Bible.
We're going to add Sherry's older sister, Dana. She's here, and she says her relationship with her mother, Betty, has also been ruined by what she calls her lies. We'll meet her after the break.
Mother made me feel that I was just not good enough to be her daughter.
She was treated like all the other kids, probably treated better.
I've always been treated like the black sheep, like some kind of ugly stepchild.
I gave her everything she ever asked for. I spoiled her because I loved her. She did what she wanted to, when she wanted to. You couldn't control Sherry.
Because of everything, I have so much anger and resentment towards her.
I feel like Sherry is ungrateful for what I've done for her. She doesn't try to help herself.
I don't know why she never cared for me and was always hiding this big secret.
Well, Sherry says growing up, she always felt different from her other siblings and wondered why her relationship with her parents was so bad. She says things finally made sense after she found a letter written by a young girl claiming to be her half-sister, and that Sherry's real father was a man named Wayne. Now, her mother told Sherry it was just all nonsense, and Sherry says that her mother hid the letter away in her Bible because she says she figures it was the one place she knew Sherry certainly wouldn't be looking. And Sherry's older sister, Dana, says she was shocked and horrified to find out about their mother's secret. Take a look.
Since finding out that my mom lied to Sherry all these years, I really haven't had much to do with her. To say the least, I am beyond angry with my mother.
I feel like my relationship with Dana is good because I've never done anything to her.
What she's been telling us for years is just one big, fat lie. I recently found out that my mother spoke with Wayne just about once a month. He would call to find out how Sherry was doing. She spoke to Wayne every month. My mom needs to know that she has insulted my intelligence. Now when I look at my mom, first thing that I think about is, are you telling me the truth? My mom is still in denial about Sherry's dad, Wayne. After pushing and prodding, she says she knows Wayne, but still had no idea he was Sherry's father. My question for my mother was, do you know how babies are made? My mother tries to portray herself as a good Christian woman. My mother's just being a hypocrite. A good Christian woman does not lie and hurt people. The gig's up. Quit lying. What I want my mom to do right now is to look my sister Sherry in the eye and tell her she is sorry for what she has done to her. I want her to apologize and beg her for her forgiveness and to mean it from the bottom of her heart.
Okay, Dana, thank you for joining us because you're kind of a third perspective here, and we've talked about a lot of things, and we'll get to some of the facts here in a minute. Has there been a double standard here? I mean, she says she was treated differently, that her mother had a different yardstick for measuring what was okay with her and what wasn't.
Absolutely. And Sherry told me 2 years ago, and it shocked me, that she said, I don't think we have the same father. And it may, there's no way. What are you talking about? She told me about the letter. That's the first time I had heard about it. And I said, Sherry, we can get to the bottom of it. And I have asked my mother, hands down, about Wayne, about all of this. And I cannot even tell you, to this day, if I ask her, I thought you had the same father.
Well,
but we don't.
I did think you did.
Your mother's position is that if Wayne is her father, that was news to her, that she did not know that. She did not lie affirmatively. She just didn't know it. It wasn't some big betrayal, some big hiding of a secret. She didn't say it because she didn't know it. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, now, what I want to do is if that's not true, then we need to own
That's right.
what we know and when we know it, so we can get past it here.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this woman, Betty, the mom, is completely full of crap. She's giving me strong narcissist vibes. She's just so cold and unempathetic and has zero compassion for her daughter, Sherry. Her sister is corroborating the story that she was treated differently, and she's denying that still, saying, oh, she's ungrateful. She claims not to know this man. She claimed you need to move on, and just her attitude in that video segment was disgusting, and I'm really disgusted with her.
When I've looked at what's happened over the years, it appears that you even sent Wayne a Father's Day card on July 24th of 1986 when she was 6 years old. And you had Sherry sign it. Do you remember this?
No, I really don't remember that. And I even told
But you
him
just thought
through
you'd
the
have
things.
him send her,
Yeah,
or have
but-
her send a Father's Day card to a guy you went out with a couple times.
Yeah, but I thought that she was Dana's sister. No, not in that family up there.
She is
Yeah.
my sister.
Okay,
Yeah.
but then you also corresponded with him because there's a letter from you to Wayne.
And actually,
And this was on July 24th of the same year, and it says, Dear Wayne, I was going to send the card for Father's Day. It's a little late, but I sent it anyway. I couldn't have asked for a prettier little girl. Everyone falls in love with her when they see her. If you can try to come see her before she got too old, as when I tried to explain things to her later on, she will know you cared. Let me know if you got the pictures, and I will send you more. Some of these are when she was little, so you could see how she looked. P.S. Please send me a picture of yourself to give her. Take care, Betty.
If I had to write that letter. I really don't remember it because I'm not I wrote maybe 2 letters in my life.
That's one of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I wrote that letter, and I probably did, but I thought later, when I would look at her and all, she belongs to Dana's daddy, She is just like, looks like us and all. I
Okay.
didn't know him
Okay.
as far as really seeing him and remembering how he looked every day or anything.
Okay,
He
hold
wasn't
on.
here.
Hold on. Dear Wayne.
I knew his name now. Yeah.
I was going to send you a Father's Day.
Yeah.
It's a little late, but I sent it anyway. I couldn't have asked for a prettier little girl. Now, let me know if you got the pictures, which means this wasn't your first contact. You're referencing pictures you had sent previously to
No,
this.
I have never wrote him but one time now, and that is the honest God's truth. I
Let
did
me
not write
know
letters.
if you got the pictures. What
Well,
pictures?
Maybe when he came down through or something, and he was at my house, he might have said, "Can I have these pictures?"
So you're
So
saying,
I
let
don't
me know if you got the pictures I handed you, because I looked away as I was giving them to you.
No, it would have had to been pictures that he had there. But like I said, Dr. Phil, as she was growing up, I honestly thought she belonged to the Dana's daddy, and I
Okay.
told him she was not his child.
Why would you give her a picture of some guy you dated a couple times?
He asked about all of my children and everything, He was a nice guy, and he would ask about them, all of them. But as far I've only seen him, I know it wasn't no more than 3 times. Nothing about his family.
Define see him.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I had went out with him, and because I had met him whenever I'd went out dancing, but I did believe that you were.
You can't even get it straight, Dr. Phil.
We'll take a break. What does Sherry's alleged father have to say about all this? We'll hear from him and his daughter, who wrote Sherry that letter years ago, after the break.
My mom treats Sherry's children, her grandchildren, the exact same way as she treated Sherry.
My mom's even told them that she will send them to the neighbors so they could be beaten.
She yells, screams.
A few weeks ago, she backed her car over my son's foot, and she could not have cared less.
I don't think I have anger issues, at anybody. That's not me.
Well, Sherry and Dana say they were determined to meet Sherry's alleged father, Wayne, after Sherry received a letter in the mail from an 11-year-old girl claiming to be her half-sister. Well, years later, Sherry finally met Wayne and that little girl, Sarah, who is an adult now. Now, unfortunately, their reunion started out great, didn't end so well, but they nevertheless got together. Take a look.
16 years ago, when I was 11 years old, I found some pictures of a baby, and it said "Our Baby," and the back of it said Sherry. I found the address on one of the letters, and I decided to write Sherry. I never heard back from Sherry, and I just let the whole thing go. 2 years ago, out of the blue, Sherry found me and contacted me. After we met Sherry for the first time, she decided she was going to move and live with my dad. At first, I was excited, like, hey, she's moving down here. I'm going to have a relationship with my sister and her children. But I quickly realized Sherry is all about chaos everywhere she goes. It was like having a tornado move into my dad's house. Her kids were very unruly and said curse words and not know how to follow rules, and they were just a mess. She was convinced I was jealous of the relationship she was forming with my dad.
Sarah got upset and just started saying things like I was ruining her life.
I don't have to compete for my dad's love. I'm a daddy's girl, and I sure was not jealous. She would just make stuff up, trying to cause drama, start fights.
Things just got out of hand. I called her a stupid bitch, and I just felt like she was trying to be some high and mighty Christian woman.
Sherry was absolutely crazy.
I feel like Sarah is just an undercover sinner.
I think Sherry has a lot of problems and mental issues. I think she's immature, hell on wheels, and I wanted no part of that. Since she left a year ago, I've had no contact with her at all, and I just have no desire to have a relationship with her. I regret contacting Sherry 100% at this point.
First off, I just want to say that the whole thing with the mom, Betty, saying, I don't remember that, that never happened, I didn't do that, is classic narcissistic behavior. My mother, as you guys know, my mother's also a narcissist, and she would do the exact same thing. According to her, nothing in my childhood happened, nothing in my adulthood happened. So I just wanted to say that, but also in this segment right now with the half-sister saying that Sherry went to their house and had a bunch of chaos, honestly, that wouldn't shock me when you consider the fact that Sherry was raised with intermittent love and intermittent compassion and affection, or just a complete lack of compassion and affection from her mother. She was abandoned by her father, so she did not have that relationship. She likely struggles with attachment issues. Even now, she's still being gaslit by her mother. I would not be surprised if she has emotional or psychological issues and likely needs some therapy. Although right now, I feel nothing but compassion for her, and it's sad that these two sisters couldn't connect in a better way.
Sarah, come on out.
I hate her, man. I hate her so much.
How are you?
Feelings
Good to
mutual.
meet you. Have a seat.
I'm glad. And if I went on Dr. Phil's show, I'd beat your. You're so classy. No, I would. I don't care. I'm sorry. I would
Listen,
never
if
do
you're
it
going
now.
to talk that way, you're going to leave. You're not going to disrespect my stage with that kind of comment, and you're not going to threaten a guest on my stage in that way. So you're either going to zip it or you're going to leave, one of the two.
I won't say that again.
Okay, then that's not what we're here for. And so you are forewarned.
I just want the truth to come out.
You got a funny way of going about it. Thank you for being here. You two haven't met before, so you're meeting for the first time. Did your father talk about having a daughter when you were growing up, a daughter named Sherry?
Not until I found a briefcase with all of Sherry's stuff, and
Okay.
pictures and letters.
And that was
Betty.
15 years ago.
Correct.
Okay. So he knew
Correct.
that he had a daughter. And did she know that he was the father?
Yes.
I had told him that I didn't think he was the father.
He told me that he was the father, but you told her that she had a really good life, and that he didn't want to mess it up. But I mean, I found a picture that said "our baby," and it was to him. So.
Well, was that my handwriting that wrote on that, or was that his now?
It definitely wasn't his.
So he did know that it was his child.
Yes, he knew.
And they did correspond about it.
Yes.
And he did have a picture that said "our baby" on the back of it.
There was a lot of pictures actually. There was some newborn. There was some maybe toddler, 4 or 5. It was a stack.
Let's hear what Wayne told my producers. He could not be in studio today, but he did send a video. Let's take a look.
Hi, Dr. Phil. This is Wayne talking about my daughter, Sherry, in South Carolina. I was aware of Sherry all these years. I thought it's in her best interest for her to stay in South Carolina with her siblings and her family since I had a home in Alabama. My daughter here, Sarah Beth, read a letter to Sherry's mother saying that she thought she had a sister there. Apparently Sherry never found that letter until this time now. It's hurt a lot of people, and I'm so sorry. I just don't know what to do. They look just alike. I love Sherry. I love all my kids.
It just seems that there is a overwhelming amount of evidence, not Sherry's opinion, not Dana's opinion, not Sarah's opinion, but evidence by your own hand that you were corresponding with Wayne from the time you were an infant, sending pictures to Wayne, writing on the back of them, sending a Father's Day card, sending a letter.
Like I said, I did not write letters. I wrote, maybe if she got it, that one letter that he ever got. I'm not a handwriter. I don't write letters, and I can say I only wrote one letter in my life to my mama whenever my sister had a baby, and then this would have been the second one. I am not a letter writer.
You only went out with him like 3 times, right?
Yes.
At least one of those times, y'all
Yes.
had
Yes.
sexual relations, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's possible.
Yeah, well, it was possible because the DNA said different whenever we did the DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're getting somewhere. So it wasn't just square dancing.
Yeah. No. I admit now, you know, I'm like some other people. I was not perfect in my life or anything. I made mistakes.
I'm not judging.
Yeah.
I'm not judging. And you did send a Father's Day card, and you did send pictures, and he does have pictures, and you did send a letter, one of the 2 letters you've written in your life.
Yes.
And to him, and saying.
No, I didn't write 2 letters to him.
No.
Only got one. Yes.
It's just one. There's one that we know of. You've written 2 letters, one to him.
Yeah.
It just seems, based on the evidence, that you clearly knew he was the father.
I wasn't going to take a chance. You know, when she was growing up, and I.
If you
was
believe
gonna,
the evidence indicates beyond a reasonable doubt that she knew he was the father, stand up. Look around the room. There are people stopping cars on Melrose right now, getting out of their car and standing up. I mean, that's what's so frustrating to you. You know she knows, right?
Yeah, and I literally lose my mind whenever I'm lied to, whenever like she's doing to you. I can't take it because I cannot stand hypocritical, undercover liars that claim to be Christians like these 2 sitting right here.
Well,
yeah, I have issues. I am hateful and angry and pissed, and I cuss and I raise hell, and I do a whole lot of crazy stuff.
well, we're going to talk about that right after the break.
I admit that I have a lot of anger. It's like a volcano, and sometimes I explode.
Just the smallest little thing, Sherry loses it.
I'm angry with my mother because she lied to me.
One time she was mad and she got right in my face and she said, "I can take you out anytime."
At this point, I can't trust anyone. I'm all alone.
She's passing all of the anger on to her children.
I resort to yelling, and I get really mad.
My biggest fear is that if we don't get this fixed, Sherry is going to hit her breaking point.
In y'all's defense, and God knows you need one, you guys were thrown into a situation that was guaranteed to be disastrous. And as a result, the angst you feel towards Sarah is really not all her fault, and the angst you feel, I'm sorry?
I don't think so either.
And the angst you feel towards Sherry and some of the things that she said and done really are not all her fault. Y'all never really got a chance to get to know each other in a proper way with boundaries and step by step and having someone to guide that and really learn to build a relationship properly. You never really had a chance. And so things happened that I would have predicted you to be where you are with 100% certainty. And it's not because you're a bad person or you're a bad person, it's just you got in a situation where it's just, I mean, like...
We're very different, though. I mean...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are sisters. And it was like you were living in a powder keg and giving off sparks. It's just guaranteed to be explosive. And, you know, maybe somewhere down the road we can go with this differently and at least have a cordial relationship even from afar, because you are sisters.
And
you are sisters.
I feel like her lie has, look how many lives it's affected and really screwed up, not just mine.
Well, I agree. There's fallout all the way, and you recognize that you have a lot of anger, and you're hair triggered to that. And I don't know what all the answers are as to why that is, but it's not serving you well in this situation or any situation. And it doesn't serve you well as a parent, it doesn't serve you well as a role model, doesn't serve you well as a sister, doesn't serve you well as a daughter, doesn't serve you well as a citizen, doesn't serve you well as an employee or an employer, doesn't serve you well in any walk of life, which means that's something that would be at the top of your to-do list.
It is.
To deal with. So should Sherry and Dana forgive their mother, even if she's unwilling to talk about the past, even if she's unwilling to own what she knows and doesn't know? We'll talk about all of that and what could really help this family next. In looking back on it, are you sorry that you didn't handle it differently to ease the pain in her life?
Yes. Sherry, I'm sorry I handled it the way I did. I wished I had handled it different.
Thank you.
All right.
And we can build on that. And, sometimes we get stuck on things, and anger is a very pervasive emotion. It permeates your relationship with your children, with your sisters, with yourself, with everybody. I would really like to get you some help with that. And somebody to really help you kind of.
I admit I need it. I do.
Get somebody to really help you kind of untangle this ball of yarn and see if it can't really bring you some peace in your life, because I think you deserve it. And
Thank you.
I'd like to do that.
Okay, so in this episode, we have Sherry confronting her mother, Betty, because Betty lied about who Sherry's father actually is. And we see that she even hid a letter that the half-sister wrote to her at age 11, hid it in her Bible. Wow, there's so much symbolism there. But yeah, like I've been saying throughout this episode, the mom, Betty, just seems very highly narcissistic. She refuses to take any responsibility. At the end there, finally, Dr. Phil was able to get an apology out of her. It was the driest, least satisfying apology I've probably ever heard from any guest on the Dr. Phil show, but at least it happened. She said the words. I don't see how it's genuine when she refuses to even admit what she did and continues to lie about it. Sherry absolutely has anger issues, has emotional and psychological issues. And as I've said, I understand why. I'm a little confused when Dr. Phil said, yeah, you have anger problems. I can't say as to why you might have that. Why can't you, Dr. Phil? I think we can all see why Sherry might be carrying some rage. Just the simple fact that she has been mistreated by her mother her entire life is enough to give her anger issues. It's going to give her issues with her identity. Her father was absent. She was raised by another man that she thought was her father. And honestly, I would have been curious to see what he had to say and how long was he in the picture? Is he still in the picture? And did he treat her differently than the other daughters? We know that the mom mistreated her and treated her other daughters well, and even her sister agrees with that. It's really heartbreaking to hear that the mom, Betty, is also mistreating Sherry's children. So it continues, and this is really not surprising for narcissistic systems in a family. There's often going to be a golden child, a scapegoat, and whatever role that person has might get passed down to their kids. And I'm just happy that at the very least, Sherry's sister Dana is supportive of her and that they have a close relationship, because at least she has someone. Because like she said, she feels alone. She doesn't know who to trust. And that's very understandable. She's been gaslit and lied to her entire life, and was gaslit and lied to on this very stage. Trust issues are reasonable. I have struggled with trust issues due to my mother as well. And the whole thing of finding her siblings and all that is familiar to me, because my father was quite popular back in the day and had 3 kids with all different mothers, and I did not find them until I was an adult. I messaged my sister and brother on Facebook, and they were like, who are you? So I have some familiar experience here. And as I say that, I just realizing that with all the things I've revealed about my life to you guys, my life sounds kind of crazy, right? But yeah, this situation is really unfortunate. The damage that has been done has spread to so many people and is now being spread down to Sherry's children. If they don't get a handle on this, those kids are going to have issues and spread that to those children. That's how these generational cycles continue. But I really hope that Sherry can get some peace and some healing and maybe get some therapy. And I hope that she can actually build a positive relationship with her other half sister. And I can't remember her name, I think Sarah. She said that Sherry was accusing her of being jealous. And I'm sure there might be some truth to that on both sides. I'm sure Sherry was probably exaggerating some of that, but also it's possible that Sarah may have had some discomfort with it if she was raised by her father and if she's the only daughter or something. These things I think are bound to happen, and it's just unfortunate that there's so much negativity that they couldn't work things out with each other. But what did you guys think about this episode? What do you think about Sherry's mom, Betty? Do you believe her? Do you believe that she doesn't even know this man's name, and now she suddenly remembers, oh, his name, I do know his name is Wayne. I knew a Wayne. Do you believe that she only wrote 2 letters in her entire life and she doesn't remember writing either of them? Do you believe her when she says she never treated Sherry differently than her other daughters? In fact, Sherry's just ungrateful. And remember, guys, I almost forgot. Sherry said that her mother allowed her to have a relationship with a 20-year-old man when she was 13. That is statutory, and that's abuse and neglect. So yeah, just food for thought. But let me know if you guys have any personal experience with this sort of thing, this specific type of family drama. Let me know, drop it in the comments.